Get the last of your petty cash ready for Spirit Halloween's Ghostbusters line. Available from SpiritHalloween.com or your local Spirit Halloween store. Let's check out the PKE Meter, the Ghost Trap, the Utility Belt, the Ecto-Goggles, and, of course, the Proton Pack. Can't bust without one. See anything you like? Visit Spirit Halloween's website and order them while you can. Check out their store locator and find a shop near you, and print yourself a stack of 20% off coupons. I didn't pay full price for any of this stuff. I have no affiliation to Spirit Halloween, I'm just a Ghostbusters fan trying to help. Before I rip and tear these out of their boxes, I just want to say that I dig how the Ghostbusters merchandise maintains that caution tape and green background look across multiple manufacturers. Also, for whatever faults they might have, I love that Spirit's offerings are commercially available, locally obtainable, decently detailed, reasonably priced Ghostbusters props, and that 20% off coupon. All criticism has to bear that in mind. We'll start with the PKE Meter. I couldn't find it locally, so I just ordered one. Packaged G.I. Joe style on a blister card, big ass bubble for the Try Me feature, batteries included. The meter itself sports a bigger handle than the movie prop, but it's unmistakably a Ghostbusters PKE meter. The screen and buttons are in the right places, and the speaker's holes don't damage the look too much. Unfortunately, what does damage the look is the big ass belt loop on the back, and it's placed right on the part that your friends, partygoers, and convention attendees are going to see as you point the meter at them to take readings. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but putting a belt loop there does make the PKE meter accurate to Ghostbusters the video game, in which the meter was stored on the hip, and it looked freaking rad. Anyway, make sure the power is on, plastic tab is yanked, and you are ready to take readings. Press the button on the right for a short, low-intensity light and sound show. Arms extend, lights flash, sounds play, and it all wraps up and turns off. The left button is a loop of weak to strong readings. It won't turn off on its own. Even on weak readings, the arms open all the way. You can't manually control their angle or the speed of the lights and sounds. No volume control either, and no idle mode with only lights if you just want the screen flashing while it's on your belt. Press the button again, and it'll turn off. It feels cheap, because it is. But considering the price of the Mattel meter these days, the Spirit one will do. Just get your model paints ready to detail and weather it. Next, the Ghost Trap, also with lights and sounds. Includes a label sheet and batteries. Instructions are on the back of the box. Out of the box, not ready to go, the trap looks naked and without stickers, and there are no instructions as to where they go. I'll try to keep mine screen accurate. Labeled up, it looks better. Detail is pretty good, and I like the cleverly disguised battery door. The knobs are all solid, so they won't fall off, but it could use some paint, especially on the control panel in black plastic. Underneath, you have some nice, free-spinning wheels, big enough to handle low carpeting. Hot Wheels, eat your heart out. There's also a belt clip, which isn't movie accurate, but it sure is handy, like on the PKE meter. There's no hose or foot pedal, but a speaker on the back. Instead of stomping a pedal to open it, you hit the button on the handle. The trap will pop open and remain open until you hit the button again. You don't need to press it and hold it. But what about lights and sounds? Hit the power button where the metal switch should be, and the box lights up. We get a big ass red one near the handle, and a yellow bar on the front. The red light stays on, but the 3 yellow lights turn on in sequence. The lights will not turn off until you flip the switch, so you can store the trap on your belt, you can light it up, you can bring life to your costume. But if you hit the button with the electronics on, you'll capture a ghost with lights and sounds. There's even a second capture sound of trapping Slimer. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. You're not supposed to look directly into the trap, but bear with me. A pair of green LEDs light up the inside of the trap, and there's enough room in there for a smoke-spewing vaping system, if you want to get crafty. It looks like there's almost enough space to fit the Lego Ecto in the trap, but mine's all wired into the firehouse with lights and crap, so I can't verify that claim. Like the PKE meter, the ghost trap could really use some detailing and weathering, but I dig it. Good size, rolls well, stays open, and the lights let you rock the convention hall in costume, in character, and in style. And even if it's not as nice as Mattel's trap, it's much more obtainable. Those belt clips are about to come in handy thanks to Spirit's Ghostbusters utility belt. It stores the tools, it stores the talent. One size fits most. It's easy to adjust, and here's the full length. So, whether you're fatter than Cartoon Ray, or skinnier than Extreme Kylie, this belt has you covered. Sure, you could easily make your own belt from a military surplus one and some dollar store keychains, but for only $10 US, you don't have to. So far, this is the least cheap feeling Spirit item. I wouldn't trust the weak fake leather the fob's attached to, but the belt can carry your trap and your meter with room to spare for gloves, belt gizmos, and more. I find the belt looks a bit too clean, but that won't be hard to change, should you wish to. The belt is really easy to overlook, but it really adds a lot to the overall look of your busting suit. Next, we have the Ecto-Goggles, straight from Dan Aykroyd's surprised face to your collection. Packaged in a window box, the goggles come with labels and batteries, and they light up. The stickers are more straightforward to put on than on the trap, but once again, there are no label placement instructions. I should point out that this is the only Spirit Ghostbusters item with paint weathering on it, but I still think you might want to detail it yourself. The straps are stretchy and they're adjustable with Velcro, so even though the goggles themselves look a little bit small, they should fit just fine. Detail isn't bad. The goggles look like they should, even though they look a bit small to me. Both lenses rotate, and the power switch is nicely hidden on the right side. No room to wear your glasses in there. Sorry, Egon. There's a squishy rubber inside, and apparently it's more comfortable than the Mattel one, but I can't comment on that. That being said, these are light enough not to hurt your face when you wear them. These will limit your field of view substantially, so be careful. They might be comfortable enough to wear for extended periods of time, but that doesn't mean you should. Try to avoid stairs. This is relatively minor, but if you wear them on top of your head, like Ray in the Sedgwick, the battery door is visible. As usual, this Spirit item feels rather cheap, and you might want to detail it yourself, but it does what it's supposed to, and is lightweight to not hurt your head and face. It still seems a bit small to me, but I'm not even going to pretend I'll pick up the ridiculously priced Mattel goggles. These will do just fine. Okay, so far, the Spirit stuff has felt cheap, could use some of your model paints, the PKE meter has lackluster electronics, and the goggles seem a bit small. But remember, these are commercially available, locally obtainable, decently detailed, reasonably priced Ghostbusters props, and that 20% off coupon. And you can look at those Mattel prices for yourself. All things considered, I can't be too upset with Spirit. But we still have one item to get to. The big one. Yeah. The deluxe replica quality Proton Pack. Looking at the box, I can already tell it's not full size, but that doesn't bother me much. In Ghostbusters 2, Egon told Bobby Brown that the Proton Pack is not a toy. Well, neither is this one, because a toy would probably be sturdier. This is what passes for deluxe replica quality today. Still better than the foam one anyway. Be wary of strings of hot glue on your pack. They're not mine. Just leftover mess from when Spirit put it together. One of my cables was disconnected. Guess there wasn't enough hot glue in there. Detailing isn't too bad, and I like the stickers which come already applied, but I have to point out a few things. The ribbon cable. Where's the rest of it? This thing is tiny. I'm glad it really looks and feels like a ribbon cable, but I'll definitely have to replace it with an old computer one. The cyclotron. I'll have to paint a coat of transparent red over each of the 4 lights because they don't look red at all. The straps. They're supposed to be green. Why are they black on this deluxe replica quality model? Spirit's other Ghostbusters stuff have the straps in green. Even the crappy all-in-one suit with the flat cardboard particle thrower have green straps. I don't mind the lack of plastic Alice frame, but I felt compelled to get some replacement Alice straps. Gotta have that green. I mentioned the particle thrower. The red wire isn't on the tip of the Spirit version. It's easy enough to fix, but still. Also, my Neutrona wand wasn't fully snapped together. Not a great first impression. Under the felt backing, there seems to be cardboard. I'm not even joking. Anyway, lift the Velcro flap to pull out the battery tray, install 3 AA batteries, not included, and flip the switch to power it on. Grab the thrower, press the on-off button to cook. That's it. Just that one light and sound feature. No trademark power-up sound. No cyclotron light patterns. Only the firing sound and the seizure lights. That's it. There's no cyclotron light pattern you can leave on while you walk the convention hall. It's either firing sound and seizure lights, or no lights at all. Now I don't expect all the lights in the movie or the game models to be represented. I don't expect them all to turn on. But no powered on light cycling mode is pretty weak. Sure, you could set up your own lighting system inside of the Spirit Pack, but you shouldn't have to, especially when there are already light features in the deluxe replica quality model in the first place. The pack isn't full hero scale, it's only about 80%, but if you're not too big yourself, it's not so bad. Small enough not to be cumbersome, big enough to look decent, and it's lightweight. The cardboard helps. About the wand. It's tiny, but it has the right look, other than the missing red wire. The on and off button, though, is out of reach. You have to take your hand out of its firing position just to hit the button. They could have used one of the buttons closer to your thumb. It does peg into the pack for storage, only it'll really take practice to be able to comfortably reattach it without asking someone for help or taking the pack off altogether. Complicating matters is the cable, which isn't as flexible as it should be, and it's bent into a strange shape to fit inside the box. Forget wrangle ghosts, this cable will pull your wand away. Right out of the hole it pegs into. Maybe a magnetic system would have been better. It's small, feels cheap, and doesn't look great, but that's what the ladies say about me. You'll definitely want to weather the pack, maybe work on some custom lighting, but again, it's a commercially available, locally obtainable, decently detailed, reasonably priced Ghostbusters prop, bought with a 20% off coupon. Against this, I contrast all of my criticism. I walked into a store in my town, brought along a discount coupon, and went home with a Proton Pack. It's hard to put into words just how happy that made me. All in all, you get what you pay for. Spirit stuff is fine for what it is. Inexpensive costume parts that luckily have electronic extras. I would constantly live in fear of breaking or losing expensive and valuable Mattel Ghostbusters props at a convention or a Halloween party, but I ain't afraid of no damage to the Spirit stuff. Much cheaper to replace too. Someday, some company will make better Ghostbusters stuff, but for now, and for the price, I can't recommend the Spirit Halloween Ghostbusters line enough. Once again, you can't go wrong with commercially available, locally obtainable, decently detailed, reasonably priced Ghostbusters props that are 20% off with a coupon. If you're any kind of Ghostbusters fan, and or there's even a semblance of an inner child still beating within your burnt-out, world-weary husk, by all means pick the stuff up, because bustin' still makes us all feel good.
That's right.